My name is Vandana Jain. I'm dealing with the topic interim measures by courts under Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996. So basically, arbitration is an dispute resolution mechanism whereby the parties are agreeing to refer a dispute arising between them to an arbitrator, that is an independent person, to resolve this dispute, and he or she resolve the dispute, and such a resolution is binding on both the parties. So the first arbitration law was enacted in India in 1940, and this was replaced by the Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996 with the more changes and more, by filling the inadequacies and deficiencies of the 1940 Act. And this 1996 Act was enacted to minimize the judicial interventions in the arbitration proceedings, and also to protect and provide significance to the principle of party autonomy. So this act has several provisions which is regulating or controlling the arbitration proceedings, and one among them is section 9, and which is a crucial provision in this act. So section 9 is the only section which deals about interim reliefs granting by the courts under this arbitration act, and this section is similar to that of order 38, 39 and 40 of the CPC. And this section was enacted with the object to provide justice and also to protect the interest of the applicant. In case of an urgency or the protection of the subject matter in the dispute, this section can be invoked. So this section is incorporated in Chapter 2 of the Act 1996, and it contains 3 clauses. The first clause deals with who can be the party to the suit and what all circumstances this court can provide interim relief. So the clause 1 says that a party can apply to the civil court before or during the arbitration procedure, or at any time after the making of arbitral award, but before it is enforced in accordance with section 36, and it also contains the prayers for the interim relief granting by the court. So clause 1 says that a party can apply to the court. The term party itself is a vague in nature, so the Indian courts try to explain the term and to provide an clarity to the term in this section. So the court, Madras High Court in Haritha Finance Limited versus ATV Projects India Limited, the court limited the scope of this section, and it has held that the party in this section 9 means the party of the arbitration agreement, and no other person has any right to be a party in the section 9. And the Honorable Supreme Court in the case of Ashok Traders versus Gurumukhi Das upheld this same decision and held that the qualification of the parties to this section is only that these parties has to be the party in an arbitral agreement, and it explained the term party as the definition of this act, its definition term in this act itself, that is section 2 clause H is the definition clause of the act 1996, explained that party is the party to an agreement, and this definition itself is deemed to be incorporated with the section 9. And next is about in what all situation the application can be made, interim application, and this interim application can be made before the arbitration commencement, or during the arbitration proceeding, or even after the making the arbitral award. But only condition is that this arbitral award should not be enforced in accordance with section 36. If it is enforced in accordance with section 36, then any interim application or interim praise can be made for under section 9. And this was upheld in Sundaram Finance Limited versus NEPC India Limited, where the Supreme Court held that the court can pass an interim order even before the arbitral proceedings commencement, or even before a issuing of a notice for invoking arbitration clause. There is no such requirements as to invoke section 9. And next is about the clause. The second part in the clause 1 says about the prayers for interim protection. The court may grant interim orders in cases where preservation, interim custody, or sale of goods which are the subject matter of the arbitration, or for securing the amount in dispute, or for interim injunction, or for the appointment of a receiver, or an appointment of a guardian for unsound person or minor, or any other interim measures as the court or court deemed to be fit as a just and convenient for the protection of the applicant. And next is about the consideration while granting the relief under section 9. So the court has to take some factors or consider some factors so that while granting a relief under section 9. The first one is the court has to ensure that the party or the applicant applying for the interim relief is established a prima facie case. And the second is the applicant, the balance of convenience should be in favor of this applicant. And the third is that the party should establish that, or the applicant should establish that he or she will suffer irreparable damage or loss if the interim measure is not granted by the court. And finally, it is the discretion of the court to exercise its powers so that it can be provide an appropriate interim measure for protection of the parties to the dispute. And next is about the applicability of section where seat of arbitration is outside India. So the section 2 subclause 2 of the act provides a clear and unambiguous language that part 1 of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act shall apply where the place of arbitration is in India. So in a case Bhatia International versus Bulk Trading SC, the court held that an application for interim measures can be made in Indian court whether or not arbitration takes place in India, or whether or not the application takes place in India before or during the proceedings. The court observed that the part 1 of the act shall apply to the international commercial arbitrations which takes place even the outside India, but the only condition that the parties to the agreement should not, the parties to the arbitration agreement should not make expressly or impliedly should not make any preventions or make any prohibitions as to they won't follow the provisions of this act. And regarding the appeals against interim orders, and it just deals in section 37 subclause 1 clause A, and it provides that an appeal shall lie from the order of the court granting or refusing to grant any measure under section 9, and this appeal shall lie in the same court to which appeal lies from the original decrees. But this provision does not override the provisions of Article 133 of the Constitution of India. Next is about the amendments to the section 9. There are mainly 2 amendments happen in regard to the 1996 Act. The first amendment is in 2015, and this amendment made a drastic change to the section 9. Section 9, the subclause 2 and subclause 3 was incorporated by the amendment of 2015, and the 2019 amendment bill was still in pending, and it was not came into force even though it got the permission by the president. So the subclause 2 states that the court it provides an authority to the court to provide interim measures only before the commencement of the tribunal and proceedings prior to the constitution of the arbitral tribunal. And the clause specifically state that the provision that once the court has granted a measure exercising its power, the arbitral proceeding should commence within a period of 90 days or within a period of the time as the court determines. And the subclause 3 states that it's restricting the powers of the court and to not deal with the interim measures if the arbitral tribunal is once constituted and the arbitral proceedings are started. But it says an exception, that is if the order passed by the arbitral tribunal is inefficacious or it is unsuccessful, then the court can interfere in the matter and court can provide any appropriate interim reliefs. These are the drastic changes that happen to the section 9. Even though there is other changes or amendments had took place. These are the two main important amendments that or changes that happened to the section 9. That's all regarding my topic. Thank you.